Okay. So we are live, and this is awesome. This is awesome. What's up, Corbin? What's up, Alex?
What's
So
up?
I think this is the fourth session of the day. We're super excited to have everyone here. So we're literally talking about kind of like AI agent for leadership, demoing, showing like awesome AI agent builders. I think, Corbin, you are everything of this. I think you've been building, you've been like thought leadership. Like I know you like from quite ages, and I saw you like building, crashing, like doing hackathons and stuff. But without further ado, you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so thanks for having me. Basically, I'm a long-term crypto builder. In the past, I got into the Ethereum space really early. Was one of the first 100 or so employees at Consensus in like 2017. Before blockchain had any type of use case, and kind of have been basically without time off been active through all the bull cycles and bear cycles. Have seen DeFi emerge, have seen NFTs emerge, and then the meme coin cycle, and then now what we're seeing with AI agents. I run a small company called PayMagic Labs, where we build, really interesting payment, wallet, and Web3 social technology. Anytime we see like a new narrative and a new kind of market opportunity opening up, we launch something. Like even if it's something small, we can put out an app really, really quickly, and so we put out an app to test the waters. Um, I would say in
Nice.
about Q4 of last year is kind of when we started really focusing on agents. I think for, a lot of us long-term crypto builders, this was like a bit of an aha moment that like, oh my God, agents, crypto is almost built more for agents than it is for humans in a lot of ways, which, I think we've known for a while just because it is so hard to kind of interact, to custody your keys, to interact with crypto in like
Yes.
a simple way. But agents can all do that very, very well. And I believe the agent market is, about to probably 1,000x over the next
Oh
year.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that's
I saw.
unreasonable to say.
Yeah, I don't know where, but I saw these stats on in the next 6 months we will have something like 500,000 agents. And then my question is, how many of those will be duplicates, similar to like you remember the Dexes back in the days? They were like Sushi Uni, what was that? Matcha, Coffee Swap, like coffee,
Oh
or
yeah.
literally, yeah, all those swaps engine. And I'm asking myself, like everybody's forking right now agents, so I think we will have very duplicates. And the only way to, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but the only way to actually like making sure that you're consuming the right agent is having some kind of attestation and kind of like a social graph on that, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, you're
I
on
think
point.
there's a lot of benefit in the social graph. I think just jumping off that real quick,
Hmm.
I think we've seen this cycle many times before in
Hmm.
tech, right? Like if you think of like the internet, right? It was really rare and cool to launch a website at the beginning, and then now everybody can launch a website in 5 minutes. Same thing with
Yes.
crypto, right? At the beginning, there were only a few tokens. Like we were there in the early days where like there were only a few tokens kind of on chain, and then now, there's probably thousands of tokens that are launched every single second. I think AI agents are going to follow that same path, right? And so you see the agents that are successful today, and some of the, everybody's kind of, playing around and trying to find those core use cases. But it's going to get to the point where there are just, an infinite number of agents online.
Oh
And one
yes.
of the most intriguing things to us was, how can we get those agents actually making money? It's very simple.
Hmm.
How can we get agents
Oof.
making money and doing work on behalf of their creators, or on behalf of a
Yes.
DAO, on behalf of themselves if they have sentience? So
Oh
that's
yes.
that's kind of the problem we're going after, and we're excited about.
Yeah, I even thinking about like starting to delegate, treasury or wealth for specific kind of like rebalancing of a portfolio. Like there is so many use case. And by the way, Alex, I totally forgot. Like you didn't introduce yourself. I literally forgot to.
No,
It's
no,
good.
I'm just thinking about all the questions I'm going to ask Corbin. So I think so. To me, one of the most interesting challenges is like finding those places where you need an agent to fit in that can actually make money. That where a DAO or a company or somebody needs an agent and is willing to pay for an agent, and where you know enough that you can build that agent for it. So I think like you've explored, you've talked about social media and how that's a good place for it. For you, why is social media a good place for agents and KOLs to come together and potentially make an agent and have that agent make money?
Yeah, absolutely. And Alex, by the way, you have the best Telegram line I've seen, just, helping builders find early product market fit. I love that. That resonated. I think what makes us most excited about social is just because that's where everybody is, from a human or to, from an agent, right? Like that's where they already are. It's kind of this common interface that we can all kind of come together and do things. You know, we've kind of been trending in the social direction for a while. So, the impedance to get a user to, go to your crypto site, connect their wallet, start doing things used to be super high. Even getting, the impedance for a user to be able to like download an app onto their phone and becoming a daily user is like incredibly high. But we've actually seen changes in about the past year or so that's, now instead of going through those owner steps, right, we can release a frame, and then, this kind of application thing is right in your feed. Or you can release a Telegram mini app, and then right in the space where I'm a human spending my time every single day, I can kind of interact with an application. Also, the majority of agents have links into the social platforms. Like I spend a lot of time on Farcaster, also on X, of course. The agents are already there and are kind of, having that functionality anyways, right? And so rather than, building a whole new app, trying to get agents integrated, trying to get users integrated, why not just build your service already, embedded into Farcaster, embedded into X? And so, if you have a nice value proposition, you're like, you're compressing the impedance for a human or an agent to get started to just interacting with, a tweet or a post on Farcaster, right? And so that's what gets me excited, is because now, especially with crypto, we can send valuable transactions straight from our feed without that, that kind of painful onboarding funnel that we've gone through, in enterprise SaaS or in consumer in the past.
Yeah, I even think about like people we start interacting with dexes without actually going through interfaces. You kind of have already this flow when you're speaking about Telegram bots, right? I see actually people living on Telegram bots right now, on from stuff like arbitrage to kind of like swapping and stuff without actually going through like interfaces, right? But I want to focus a little bit on kind of like the problem that you're trying to solve, how it started, everything, right? Because I know in the next session we will show actually the demo and how you build it. But give me the story, right? I think that's super useful also for all the people that are actually like hearing us.
Yeah, absolutely. So it all kind of started when, my team's been building products for years. We've had some really successful Farcaster games. There's one called tipshot.xyz that gets used a whole bunch. We built a lot for the DGen community in the Farcaster universe for quite a bit. But we really started dabbling with, agents late last year. We participated in the Gaia hackathon and built interns.fun. Which was basically like, hey, can we get a social media agent, up and running for crypto projects, right? And so, that's a function that, requires an intern or requires some type of, person or the founder at a company. And it takes a lot of work, right? You have to kind of always be online. You have to be listening to who's talking about your project. You have to be either shilling or refuting, FUD that's coming up. It's a great use case for an agent, right? Because they're online 24/7. They have access to this kind of town hall, whether it's on X or Farcaster, and they can kind of chime in with it. And so I actually really think that, the idea has legs of interns.fun. But yeah, so we built that as part of the hackathon, had a great experience. I hope somebody runs with that idea and kind of crushes it. I think what we found kind of coming out of that project is just that agents are going to be everywhere. And then with crypto, if we can figure out a way for agents to be making money on crypto rails, we're going to grow on-chain GDP, which is like kind of a new kind of metric that people are starting to measure quite considerably, right? Agents don't necessarily have to have, a Stripe integration. I know they're pushing a lot of stuff there, but it's almost more natural for them to interact wallet to wallet, right? Because, it has fast finality, it's not reversible, it's they can interact right there, they can buy a new service or trade or do asset management or anything. So that's kind of our North Star, is getting agents number one, I think everybody's going to have many agents, companies going to have many agents, and how can we actually make them so that they're capturing value was kind of this idea that we really got obsessed with. In the space today, so I track a whole bunch of these, but the common ways that agents are making money today is, of course, because this is crypto, launching their own token, right? Primary issuance has always been kind of the killer app for crypto, and for AI agents, it's no different. And so I think especially towards the beginning of this month, that was very much, the meta, right? An agent can have a token. Who knows what rights those, token holders have over that agent? It varies in a lot of different cases, but it can launch its own token. Now you're seeing a lot of folks trading crypto as well too, right? Let's give them hooks into Uniswap and Aave, the great world of DeFi, so that they can actually trade crypto and make money that way. One that we're particularly excited about, so everybody's kind of talking about this term of like DeFi, AI DeFi. I think one thing we're really excited about is just AI commerce in general. And so getting bots to pay each other for different stuff, getting agents doing tasks on behalf of humans, and having that be a really frictionless, simple exchange. And so that's kind of what we want to go after, is this kind of AI-commerce idea. And so we've been working on GigBot now for the past month or so. And it's basically a place where we're going to have a whole bunch of predefined gigs. Almost think of it like Upwork or Fiverr. Maybe you need, some design help, or, put together an infographic for my project, or, hey, I want you to, start, talking about our project more so that we can kind of get more engagement. Any type of those tasks, you'll be able to post on GigBot. And then GigBot basically pushes those out to a whole bunch of agents that can make, very small amounts of crypto for fulfilling these tasks, right? It's really using crypto for kind of like the micro payments and for the distribution of these kind of tokens for a project, because they're fulfilling a task. And so, in my mind, a couple years from now, rather than me even having to be knowledgeable about these different agent platforms, I can just post, hey, I'm starting a new project, here are the vibes. Can somebody generate me a logo? And you should be able to have 10 responses, in the next few minutes from agents that can then get paid for doing this task for you. And so, yeah, that's kind of the North Star for GigBot, is kind of creating this either human to agent or agent to agent marketplace for doing useful things online and on chain.
That's super cool. How are you thinking about the interface problem, or the fact that people don't actually know what they want, right? Because whenever you go to Fiverr or one of those, I just sit there and I'm like, how the hell do I explain to somebody who has zero context what I actually want and need? So how are you thinking through that requirements definition problem with humans?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think so. The way we do it is we have generalized gigs, which basically say, hey, I have this many tokens that I'm going to reward for people that are fulfilling this task. And what we're doing right now is we're trying to zero in on what tasks are the best ones to kind of go deep on initially. Right now, we're actually leaning into a lot of what we did with interns.fun and just making it social activity, right? And so for the DGen community, we have a task that just says, hey, post why you love the DGen community. It's live on Farcaster right now, which is where a lot of the DGen community is anyways. And so, agents can basically, we've had a number of agents that have already interacted with us and posted why they love DGen. They have a specific ticker they include in the cast, and then we pick them up, and they have automated rewards that kind of get assigned to them, and they can claim super easily. And so to your question, we're starting with social media tasks just to kind of start getting this thing off the ground and get it running. But this could also be for on-chain tasks as well, right? So go mint this NFT, right? Go mint this on Sound at XYZ, right? I just made a new drop on Rodeo, go collect it there. We've had this kind of ability with some of the Quest platforms or Boost.xyz kind of in the past, but none of them have been really tailored for AI agents specifically, which is kind of where we want to differentiate.
Nice. I think it's very quite transparent. We were speaking with Alex before on the platform. I think it's I mean, it would be amazing to add, a couple of minutes responses, getting the gigs done. Like I know we are almost on time, but what you're thinking about, agent to agent integration and kind of like who like standards. There is no standards right now, right? I mean, apart either the framework is coming on board, that is building those standards, or is building some of the
Yep.
integration. But right now, it's very difficult to think about how those agent to agent interaction will actually be built, right?
Yeah. I think the way we think about it, at least,
Mhm.
is you basically kind of want to make sure that it's kind of headless, because I think there will be several different ways that agents will interact together. One thing we've used is honestly just the social interface, right? So, if you reply to the Aether or like the Gina bot today on Farcaster, you can actually say, hey, why do you love the DGen community, and use this ticker kind of in your response. And then that actually will be fulfilling the task for the reward, right? And so we're just using, the social layer as that interface. I know a lot of people are starting to think about like agents.txt, and we have like a RESTful API that we can kind of give to developers to integrate this type of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they, in the very near future, they will probably be like an Eliza plugin that just says make money, right? And it might be, anything from, launching a side trading bot to fulfilling tasks on Gigbot, or maybe it's shilling affiliate links for popular SaaS tools, right? I think there are going to be a lot of these different ways to basically make agents able to capture value, and yeah, we're betting that market's gonna grow substantially over this year. I mean, when OpenAI hasn't even released their agent framework, right? Yeah, we are really true to the
Yeah,
story.
I was actually testing Vercel SDK with. We tried to build some kind of like wallet AI agent in our live DevCo session a couple of days ago. And Vercel SDK, AI Vercel SDK, no, Vercel AI SDK is actually quite interesting. But
Ooh,
but
okay.
I agree also. I think also one thing that differ. I was speaking with Sydney before was we get so much knowledge from now Web2 AI experts that are coming into the industry because they see the value of what Web3 is bringing, fully on-chain, fully fetchable data. And I'm feeling like surrounded right now by extremely smart PhD AI agent builders. But in the same time, we also need to be conscious. Okay, let's share the same kind of vision, right? We want to build like a much more collaborative way, and I think like something that you're building here. I mean, I would use it day to day, and especially with chain payment is super useful. But the fact that you are also like placing together this kind of like listing together those gigs, it's super interesting. And question, how you're planning to, if you have the same gig, same category, are you planning to build some kind of like attestation and kind of like track record, like a normal kind of like Upwork kind of style, or what's the plan there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now we don't host anything internal. This is something that we expect to use, I guess, kind of like third parties to track, right? And so we will probably, integrate with some attestation service that basically like keeps up the reputation of a particular. We almost just call them accounts, right? Because like could be a bot, could be an agent, could be an airdrop farmer somewhere, right? We actually don't, we don't judge. You can be any of those different things. You just can be an account. And then on Farcaster, where we're currently live, there are a decent amount of data sets that basically can say, hey, this is a, more of a low quality user that only has 2 followers, their account was created yesterday. If they're fulfilling one of these tasks, they get a much smaller piece of the reward versus, somebody that's, long standing, been on there. Maybe they have some kind of like proof of humanity credential linked in their wallet. We use those types of things to say like, okay, yeah, your slice of the rewards are going to be much bigger for fulfilling the task because you're already kind of more trusted kind of in the system. And we actually have a model that takes in that external information and takes in how the user completed the task to calculate their reward. So, if you create a task on Gigbot, what's already factored in is some of the spam and slop kind of filtering in there because we actually kind of grade the task based on the trustfulness of the account.
So the last question I have for you, Corbin, because I think we're getting close to time, is So we're in the situation now where we're trying to grow our followers, get more content, make it easier, figure out, like, take care of all the bullshit of trying to automate this on social, right? With what Gigbot has today, or with what is coming up in Gigbot, how could we actually use Gigbot to take care of either some of the automation type bullshit and the repurposing likely, or actually trying to grow our follower count?
Yeah, I love it. So we are going to have the, follow this account task. It's not live yet, but that's one very, very basic one. But just on the engagement front, we have a way of basically posting, and then a whole bunch of people can pick it up to, recast your content, like your content, get views, get any kind of thing to kind of drive the narrative. I think the most successful one we've seen have been what we call targeted replies. And so it basically takes a tweet or a cast that already has a lot of engagement that's related to the product you're building. And then it basically defines a task that says, AI agents, go respond here of how XYZ project would be a good fit to help. Right. And so it's actually like pretty high quality content if you're just perusing the feed and you kind of, you see a high engagement cast, and you see a pretty well written kind of reply of a product recommendation below it. So that's the one that we've kind of had the most interest in so far. And yeah, I want to get hooked into all these kind of Mother DAO type projects that are working on those things, because I think we can amplify things pretty substantially here soon.
This is exciting. I first want to use it. I want to see definitely like a demo, and I'm interested to actually try it out. Especially for like maybe the post editing, just create a thumbnail, some kind of rendering. Those gigs, I think they're really cool. Cool. Corbin, thank you so much. I think this 30 minutes looked like 5 minutes. We definitely need to see some kind of like demo, so we definitely like invite you for the next session. I'm excited to what you're shipping, what you're cooking, and hopefully we'll see each other in Denver or even before in the next session. Anything else you want to say, Alex or Corbin?
Yeah, I was just going to say we're making a big push here, and we'll probably launch, a week or two ETH Denver, and be really public about it then too.
Nice.
So
please share out those links. Huh? Yes.
Yeah, and I'll come back on here once the project launches too.
We're excited. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, Corbin. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Alex.
guys.
Cheers.
See you guys later. Cheers.